NBA free agents who fumbled the bag this season. Every year, we see a new batch of NBA players enter the final season of their current contracts, and more often than not, something changes. Suddenly, guys start playing with a different level of urgency. That's because when free agency looms, front offices tend to adopt a "what have you done for me lately" mentality. Like it or not, that final season before free agency plays a massive role in determining how much money a player can command on the open market. Some players rise to the occasion, showing out, boosting their value, and locking up major paydays. But others, they crumble under pressure, play below expectations, or simply don't fit into their team's plans anymore. Every season, we see a few players who look like they're heading for big-time contracts, only to fall flat and end up fumbling the bag. In today's video, we'll be diving into 5 impending free agents who had the most disappointing contract years, players who came into this season with big hopes and high expectations, only to leave a lot of money on the table. Before we get started, a quick reminder: if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel grow and keeps you in the loop with all things NBA. With that out of the way, let's jump in. 1. Jonathan Cuminga. Golden State Warriors' Cuminga entered this season with sky-high expectations. Drafted 7th overall in 2021, the 6'8" forward had flashed elite athleticism, strong slashing skills, and defensive upside in his first couple of years. Last season, it looked like he was finally turning the corner, averaging career highs with 16 points and 5 rebounds per game on 53% shooting. With Klay Thompson approaching free agency and uncertainty around the Warriors' core, Cuminga seemed poised to take on a bigger role, maybe even the number 2 option behind Steph. And in a contract year, that kind of opportunity can mean serious money. A breakout season could have earned Cuminga something close to a max deal under today's market for young wings. But instead of leveling up, he took a step backward. Cuminga's shooting, particularly from 3, remained a major liability, and his decision-making didn't improve. He continued to hold the ball too long, miss reads, and struggle with defensive assignments, which has always been a sore spot for Steve Kerr. Despite his talent, Cuminga fell out of the rotation in the playoffs, a brutal sign in a prove-it year. Now, instead of cashing in, he's heading into free agency with more questions than answers. 2. D'Angelo Russell. Los Angeles Lakers/Brooklyn Nets. D'Angelo Russell's career has always been a roller coaster. At his best, he's an electric shot maker who can take over in the clutch. He even made an all-star team back in 2019 and has consistently been a guy who can get you 18 to 20 points per game. Not the most consistent, sure, but a dynamic guard with enough offensive firepower to be a starter in the league. This season, though, was a disaster. Lakers fans were frustrated with his inconsistency, and when he was eventually traded back to Brooklyn, things didn't get any better. D'Lo posted career lows across the board, just 12.6 points per game, a brutal 39% from the field, and 31% from 3. For a player who relies on his scoring to stay on the court, that's a worst-case scenario. He's never been a strong defender. He's a decent passer, but not a floor general. And now at age 29, when he should be in his prime, he's looking more like a veteran backup than a high-level starter. D'Lo was once in line for a big deal. That window seems firmly shut. 3. Julius Randle. Minnesota Timberwolves. Julius Randle is one of the more puzzling players in the league. On paper, his resume is impressive: 3-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, and a former Most Improved player. During his time with the Knicks, he put up monster regular season stats: minus 25 points and 10 rebounds were common. He bullied defenders in the post and thrived when he could play through contact. But come playoff time, he was a different story: inefficient, turnover-prone, and often invisible when it mattered most. The Knicks knew Randle would be up for a contract soon, and instead of paying him, they sent him to Minnesota. The fit looked decent on paper, but the results haven't been pretty. Randle has posted his worst stats since 2018, just 18.7 points and 7.1 rebounds per game, and his on-slash-off numbers show that the Timberwolves are worse with him on the floor. His ball-dominant style hasn't translated well, and at this point, he's no longer seen as a foundational piece. Once in line for a potential max extension, he's now heading into free agency with very limited leverage for Tyus Jones. Phoenix Suns last offseason, Tyus Jones had a big decision to make. After a strong year with the Wizards, where he proved he could be a reliable starting point guard, he had multiple offers on the table, some reportedly worth $20 million per year. Instead, he chose to bet on himself, signing a one-year, $3.3 million deal with the Phoenix Suns, hoping to contribute to a contender and then cash out in free agency. That gamble backfired in a major way. The Suns had a chaotic season and ultimately missed the playoffs. Meanwhile, Jones saw his role shrink throughout the year. By the end of the season, he had lost his starting spot. He's still a steady, low-mistake player who shoots well from three and runs the offense without turning the ball over, but he's limited athletically, undersized, and not a good defender. Those limitations were exposed this season. Now, instead of hitting free agency as a valuable starter, he'll likely be viewed as a backup and get paid like one. That $20 million per year opportunity is long gone. 5. Malcolm Brogden. Washington Wizards will give Malcolm Brogden a bit of a pass due to injuries. He only played 24 games this season, but even when healthy, he didn't look like the same player. Just a year ago, Brogden was the NBA's sixth man of the year in Boston. He'd followed that up with a solid season in Portland, scoring efficiently and knocking down 41% of his threes. He's long been known as one of the smartest, most reliable role players in the league.